prickly pear, scientifically known as Opuntia ficus indica, is not only an iconic desert plant, it is a powerful source of life, nutrition, and culture. Inside, it contains a natural cocktail of vitamins A, C, K, B2, and B6, along with essential minerals such as magnesium, calcium, potassium, iron, and copper. Its fruit, the prickly pear, is rich in antioxidants and fiber, ideal for digestion, glucose control, and strengthening the immune system. Best of all, it grows where many other crops fail. That is why it has been considered a gift from the gods for centuries. In Mexico, it is called Nopal. In Peru, simply tuna. In Spain, it is known as higo chumbo or chumbera. In Colombia, as higo. And in other places, as tunera or palera. And you? What do they call it in your country? Today, we want to pay tribute to the farmers whose weathered hands make it possible for this miracle vegetable to reach our tables. From the arid fields of Mexico to the mountains of Peru, they are the ones who preserve the tradition of growing and harvesting nopal in extreme conditions. If you also value this legacy, we invite you to subscribe to our Farming World channel and share this video with the world. Also, download our organic gardening ebook for only $3.90 with a free course so you can learn how to grow your own food at home without chemicals. The link is in the first pinned comment. Because honoring the earth is also an act of conscience. The nopal cactus is not just a food, it is a symbol of resilience. Its structure says it all. No leaves, no ostentatious blooms, no great demands. It clings to life from the silence and thickness of its sap. Its cladodes, those green, fleshy paddles, are full of water, making it a source of hydration in arid areas. Each stalk is a vital reserve in the midst of scarcity. Its defense system is poetic. Hard thorns that protect soft, nutritious flesh. It is the perfect metaphor for resistance. Tough on the outside, generous on the inside. In agricultural terms, the nopal is one of the most noble species in existence. It does not need large amounts of water, adapts to poor soils, does not require expensive fertilizers, and grows with minimal intervention. This makes it perfect for regenerative agriculture systems, food security projects, and regions suffering the ravages of climate change. Countries such as Mexico, Peru, Chile, and Morocco know this well. They have turned the nopal cactus into a key economic resource, capable of generating food, fodder, biofuels, and even cosmetics. But beyond its agricultural use, the nopal cactus is deeply rooted in culture. In Mexico, it is more than a plant. It is an emblem. It is present on the national coat of arms, on the flag, in markets, and in kitchens. According to Mexican legend, the first nopal cactus sprouted from the heart of a warrior. Since then, its image has been synonymous with resistance, fertility, and spiritual power. Eating nopal is, in a way, honoring that ancestral memory. It is communing with the earth and with the ancestors who learned to survive thanks to it. Each prickly pear, the fruit of the nopal, is an explosion of wild sweetness. Its oval shape, thick skin, and invisible spines protect it until the very last moment. Inside, it is water, sugar, color, and life. In Mexican and Andean markets, prickly pears are sold in piles: green, red, purple, yellow. Some are used to make juices, others to prepare sweets, nectars, or coulanges, a natural fermented drink with centuries of history. But to eat it, you have to know how to handle it. Peel it carefully, clean its spines, and discover its juicy heart. In Peru, prickly pears are not just a food, they are an industry. With more than 72,000 hectares dedicated to their cultivation, the Andean country has developed one of the most diversified and efficient productions in the world. Drip-irrigated plantations in Colca exceed 20,000 plants per hectare. All kinds of prickly pears are produced: red, white, orange. Many of them are destined for the cochineal industry, an insect that feeds on the Nopal cactus and from which one of the most valued natural dyes in the world is obtained: carmine, which Peru exports with a unique degree of purity. In Mexico, nopal is also grown to feed the cochineal insect, but its main use is for food. From tender nopales that are cooked in salads and stews to prickly pears that are eaten fresh, fermented, or made into syrup, jams, and liqueur. An emerging industry of vegan leather made from nopal has even been created, such as the innovative material Deserto, used by international fashion brands. A plant that was once considered wild now adorns catwalks and combats environmental impact. The micropropagation of nopal is another scientific marvel. From a single 5-centimeter cladode, specialized laboratories can produce up to 25,000 shoots in 3 months. This level of biotechnological efficiency allows the crop to be expanded to desert areas of the world where other plants cannot thrive. Thanks to this technique, there are now projects in Africa, Asia, and the Middle East where the nopal cactus is being introduced as a tool against desertification, water scarcity, and food insecurity. The backbone of the nopal cactus is not only in its form, it is in its function. It is a medicinal, diuretic, anti-diabetic, and digestive plant. Its high fiber content helps regulate intestinal transit, control cholesterol, and maintain stable blood glucose levels. It is ideal for overweight people, athletes, and those seeking a healthier diet. That is why more and more nutritionists and doctors are recommending it. It is an ancient superfood that the world is only now beginning to rediscover. In areas such as northern Argentina, Bolivia, and Chile, the prickly pear is more than just a fruit. It is a treasure trove in the vastness of the arid landscapes. In these regions, it often grows wild, without human intervention. The locals know where to find it, when it is ripe, how to harvest it without hurting themselves, and how to consume it. Some cut it at dawn, when the sun has not yet warmed the invisible thorns. Others peel it with fine knives while chatting around the fire. The fruit appears like a miracle in the desert, like a shared oasis, which is transformed into syrup, jam, or simply a fresh treat. It is the fruit of those who have learned to live with the silence of the dry land. The technique for harvesting prickly pears is also part of ancestral knowledge. It requires care, patience, and respect for the plant. The thorns, or fuzz, as they are called in many regions, are not just a physical barrier. They are a reminder that everything of value requires effort. To remove these spines, methods such as sweeping them with resinous branches, submerging them in water, or even gently hitting them against porous stones are used. Once cleaned, the prickly pears are ready for consumption. But that seemingly simple process is actually a choreography that connects people with nature, with their grandparents, with the cycles of life. The nopal cactus not only feeds, it also builds. In rural areas of Mexico and Central America, it has been used for centuries as an ingredient to waterproof adobe roofs. Its thick mucilage acts as a natural sealant that protects houses from water and heat. In lime paint, Nopal is mixed in to give it adhesion and durability. It is used in soaps, shampoos, creams, and even as a base for handmade cosmetics. Did you know that Nopal is also used to make eco-friendly glue? In some communities, a paste is prepared from cooked clay doughs that is used to bind paper, wood, or clay. It is an ancient technology that the modern world is just beginning to appreciate. There is also magic in its flowers. Nopal flowers are used in medicinal infusions to relieve headaches, migraines, and digestive problems. Their use in traditional medicine has been documented since pre-Columbian times. In some cultures, the flowers are offered as a symbol of gratitude to the earth, as if they were a return to the ecosystem for all it provides. The plant cycle is so complete that nothing is wasted. The stalk feeds, the flower heals, the fruit refreshes. Everything in the Nopal cactus is useful. Everything has a purpose, a function within the ecological balance. The history of the Nopal cactus is also a story of economic resilience. In times of crisis, it has saved entire communities from starvation. Its ability to grow in poor soil, without fertilizers or abundant water, has made it a key crop for food sovereignty programs. Today, some NGOs and governments are including it in their strategies against desertification, rural hunger, and climate change. Not out of charity, but out of agricultural intelligence. The Nopal cactus can be a real alternative to other crops that are more dependent on water resources or chemical fertilizers. Its potential as a regenerative crop is being rediscovered by agroecology. Its shallow roots prevent soil erosion, help retain moisture, and enrich the local microbiota. Planting Nopal cacti is an effective way to restore degraded soils. In addition, its shade and cover protect other plant species that grow under its shelter. This makes it an ideal crop for agroforestry and polyculture systems. Instead of planting a single species, many farmers are choosing to combine it with corn, beans, cassava, or agave. The synergy between them improves the health of the ecosystem and the economic stability of the producer. Even its aesthetics have made it a global icon. The Nopal appears in paintings, tattoos, fashion designs, environmental awareness campaigns, and even movies. It represents the indigenous, the resilient, the undying. It is a symbol of what flourishes despite adversity. In Mexican urban culture, for example, the Nopal cactus has become an element of identity and pride. Wearing a Nopal cactus on a t-shirt or mural is a way of saying, "We are the land, we are history, we are struggle." Few plants have such symbolic power. The Nopal cactus is not only eaten, it is honored. Today, prickly pear and Nopal exports have grown. The United States, Canada, Japan, and several European countries are consuming more and more of these products, not only for their taste, but also for their nutritional benefits and low ecological footprint. Specialized companies are developing biodegradable packaging made from Nopal, sustainable materials, natural dyes, and gourmet products. From dehydrated prickly pear to energy bars, the Nopal industry has evolved without losing its ancestral roots. It is a perfect balance between tradition and innovation. Despite all this potential, Nopal still faces prejudice. It is often seen as poor people's food or a minor crop. But that is changing. More and more chefs, researchers, and entrepreneurs are looking at this plant as an untapped gem. Universities are conducting studies on its anti-cancer properties. Biotechnology institutes are exploring its use in biofuels. And indigenous communities continue to teach that this plant does not need to be reinvented, but rather recognized. The Nopal cactus represents a profound lesson for our relationship with nature. It reminds us that abundance is not always found in what is big, expensive, or exuberant. Sometimes it is found in what survives, what resists, what grows back after being cut down. The Nopal cactus does not give up. Even if it is burned, cut down, or forgotten, it always comes back. And perhaps that is why the ancient Mexicans saw it as a symbol of eternal life. The cycle that never breaks, the plant that always returns. In a world desperately seeking sustainable solutions, the Nopal cactus has had them for centuries. All we had to do was look south to the arid regions of Latin America and understand that there, in the silence of the dry land, a solution grows. Not only to feed millions, but to reconnect with what really matters: balance, dignity, resilience. Perhaps the future of agriculture lies not in laboratories, but in the plants that the modern world has forgotten. So the next time you see a prickly pear, a leaf, a nopal flower, don't underestimate it. Look at it with different eyes. Remember that behind its prickly skin, there are centuries of history, natural science, living culture. That it not only feeds bodies, but also ideas. That it not only resists, but also teaches. The nopal is not just another plant. It is a statement, a stance against a world that destroys what it does not understand. And in its sap, the memory of an entire continent still beats. And you? Do you dare to rediscover the power of the nopal? Subscribe to our Farming World channel and share this video with those who do not yet know the history behind this extraordinary plant. Download our organic gardening ebook and start growing awareness from home. Because caring for the earth is also caring for our identity. And the nopal cactus, more than just a crop, is a legacy that we must protect, a root that deserves to continue flourishing.